Hello, and welcome to Objective Health. My name is Erica, and I am your host today. And joining me in our virtual studio is Damien behind the scenes. And then we have a special guest today, Dr. Lee Merritt. So thank you for joining us, Dr. Lee Merritt. We really appreciate you being here. And I just want to give a little bit of background for our listeners who may not be familiar with Dr. Merritt's work. Dr. Merritt graduated in 1980 from the University of Rochester School of Medicine and Dentistry in New York. She is a elected life membership in the Alpha Honor Medical Society. She completed her orthopedic surgery residency in the United States Navy and served 9 years as a Navy physician and surgeon before returning to Rochester, where she was the only woman to be appointed as the Louis A. Goldstein Fellow of Spinal Surgery. She has a private practice, Orthopaedic and Spinal Surgery, since 1995, and has served as on the board of Arizona Medical Association and is president of Association of American Physicians and Surgeons. She's got a long interest in wellness and fitness and has been fellowship certified by the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. And I wanted to add, at 63, she won a female bodybuilding championship physical class with the help of her friends and patients of her family. So thank you. We really appreciate you being here. We will share your website so our listeners can check out the other videos. You've had videos on Dr. Mercola, and you also wrote a book about Obamacare.
Right.
And that sounds very interesting, called Surviving the Medical Meltdown. Now, did you think when you wrote that book that you would be surviving the medical meltdown that we are living through right now?
Right. And that's actually not a bad term for what we're living through right now, but it's not what I expected. That's right. I expected it just to be a political thing, but I think this is much more.
And so we wanted to kind of start off. You had said in your previous video on Mercola about this medical technocracy and how the pandemic made that possible. And could you just share with our viewers what you mean by that? Because we hear so many different terms being kind of bandied around these days about what's going on. And I really appreciate your description of this. So please.
Well, so technocracy is actually a philosophy that became a movement in the 20s and 30s. And actually, interestingly, for the Canadian viewers, I mean, it's the head of the technocracy movement in the 30s in Canada was Elon Musk's dad or grandfather. So a little factoid, but it became a movement. And the whole idea of technocracy is, all this representative government and the way we do the world today isn't very efficient, isn't very effective. We make mistakes. It's kind of messy. Let's just engineer the solutions. So what we'll do is we'll gather data from the bottom up, and we'll feed it all up to boards. Instead of election to presidents and representatives and things, we'll just have these boards of engineers. In fact, in the 1920s, it was called the Revolt of the Engineers. And the idea was the world has gotten so technologically sophisticated, we need technicians to actually figure things out and do the right thing.